This is going to be the simple truth. What happens if you take a liar's information and you base that on the treatment or what you're going to do with another person? Like for me, like the care I get is usually based upon liars and manipulators and people that want to get away with crimes. I'll give you an example. What did my doctors do to me to harm me and give me PTSD to the point where I'm afraid of hospitals? I'll give you one example. The doctors listened to liars and manipulators, causing my body to malfunction, causing me extreme pain and suffering because they were listening to a bunch of liars and manipulators who had something they wanted to push. For instance, they listened to my mother. Now, my mother was making up a story to push a narrative for Social Security. She wanted to make sure Social Security was a breeze, but she also wanted to get away with their crimes from age 7. When I was about in 1998 and 1999, my mother was slipping me pills destroying my central nervous system, causing me to lose my sight at one night to the point where I went blind, my breathing slowed down, I lost the feeling in my body, and I went unconscious. Now, of course, I mentioned this at the doctors repeatedly, but my mother admitted to it by saying that it was an allergy attack, that my mother gave me pills, the pills interacted with one another, and it was just an allergy attack. But at that point, the doctor asked what meds, and my mother covered it up. But if it was an allergy attack, then why did my mother refuse to bring me to the emergency room when they told her to bring me to the emergency room? Do you usually let your son sleep off an allergy attack that just made him go blind? Won't his throat close up? Won't he go into anaphylactic shock? Isn't it a bad idea if your son is experiencing an overdose from medication to have him sleep it off? But no, my mother tells the doctor that it was just an allergy attack, nothing to see here. The doctors ask what medications they were. My mother won't give the list. And then my mother takes me out of those doctors, and then we move to another state. Well, were anybody else seeing this sudden change in my body? Oh, yes. The teacher said, why is your movements? Why are you having trouble moving your legs? You're walking different. Your speech is different. Was there any change in the medications at home? Did anything happen to you at home? And I'm saying, I don't know, because I'm only 7 or so years old, 6 years old or something. So I have no clue what my mother's doing to me. All I know is my mother's in charge of my body and she's a liar. We know she's lying through her teeth. So my mother did this for years, but now I'm age 13. I do a science experiment with a match and slug slime. But my mother is afraid. She's afraid that I'm a serial killer and I got homicidal tendencies. Why? Because my mother has fantasies in her head. That's the only reason why. My mother is a crazy woman. But she goes, well, he held the match close to a slug, so that means he's hurting animals. And if he's hurting animals, that means he's a serial killer. And if he's a serial killer, that means he's going to hurt us. And then that means he's going to hurt us. Then we got to put him in a hospital and drug him. So we need to put him in a hospital and drug him right away. And that's how my mother's mind works. She just forces me into a hospital. But here's the problem. Then she lies and manipulates the doctors. She starts mentioning the attachment disorder that was based upon the fact I just swam better than other kids. Yes, but she ended up twisting the facts on that one too. She took my swimming medal as proof